Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Max, what was your biggest food snub this year? What was some food you snubbed?
What do you mean food you snubbed? As in
food, some food you snubbed. What was some food you snubbed?
Like people said it was good, and then I said, "Oh no, it's not that good." Is that
people
snubbing?
were like, "You got to try these new Pringles flavor," and you were like, "They were like, these are really good," and you tried them. You're like, "I don't rate them." Mid.
I don't think I tried anything that's outstanding.
You didn't try any new Pringles this year?
No. I don't. I'm not a food guy, so I don't really care that much. You know.
I don't think they're saying that. I don't think there were any new Pringles this year.
No,
Not
I don't
that
think
I can
so.
remember.
The thing that
I feel like 2023 was a big year for Pringles. I remember a couple new Pringles coming out, and I was like, "These are interesting."
Mm-hmm.
Then I think they destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
I think
they make
were like,
yeah.
No, you go.
Yeah, no, it's just like the I think the tube for Pringles is a genius design, honestly, in general.
Yeah.
And it's a shame they're not
Do you
putting
wanna
more
elaborate?
effort into, because it's like, you know, it's unique compared to a packet of crisps.
Yeah. True.
You know how much you get. You know, like I remember I told you yesterday or the day before, whatever, we were talking about how I bought like a pack of like crisps and I opened them and like it was literally 10% of the packet was filled with crisps. With Pringles, the unique thing with Pringles is that you know exactly how many Pringles you get, you know? With
generally, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, somewhat, you know, but you know.
They fill the tube up.
Exactly. So I feel like I trust them. And like that's the thing, it's the mascot to Pringle mascot.
Like the Pringle head guy.
Just a guy with a mustache. And I feel like
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
We should go back to just having a guy as like a
Monopoly Man-esque
yeah,
character.
like, you know, exactly, yeah. Like, you know, you have the Michelin Man. He's a man, you know, still, although he's got like
Clean.
some Mr. Clean, yeah.
He's
like
just
we
a
should.
man. These are very American brands as well. We don't have
yeah,
Mr. Clean over
that's
here.
true.
Sillet
No.
Bang. For a long time, the mascot was the guy who sold it on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The spokesperson or whatever.
Yeah. So
Brand
Bang,
representative.
You have what's the one where it's like the Wow Slam or whatever, where it's the guy who was like you chop things with it, like whatever, slap chop.
Oh, slap chop and
yeah.
ShamWow.
And then the guy
The guy who like beat up
yeah.
a prostitute or something.
he bit her tongue off nearly or something
Yeah,
like that.
that was
Like,
bad. Yeah, I knew it was worse than what I said, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
You know, we gotta go back to that stuff. You know, I feel like we're like either it's like we're making all our logos.
I think
like
ShamWow guy and Jared Fogle gave brand ambassadors a really bad name.
That's true.
I think they don't do brand ambassadors anymore because of like Jared Fogle.
Yeah. Honestly, and
it's a gamble because if they turn out to be a pedophilic freak, then you're like, well, great. Now our brand is tied to pedophilia.
Yeah.
There's literally no getting rid of this.
Yeah, literally.
But I guess the added issue was that there were like Subway publicists who were like procuring children for him, which is not good.
Yeah, and also he was around for so long, you know, like he was like he
like
threw his net wide, you know, like that when he was able to procure using his status, you know, his I don't know, as a guy who lost weight because of fucking Subway.
Because he stayed Subway.
I don't believe that. Honestly. I don't trust that. I feel like that's fake.
Well, I think he was doing exercise at the same time.
I don't believe it.
What it is that like you can, but the way you lose weight by eating Subway is that your entire meal for a day is 1 foot long.
Yeah, that's true.
And not like a particularly dense foot long, you know? It's like you eat that and then you just don't eat anything for another like 8 hours, and then maybe you eat some toast and then go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you also just exercise at the same time, you lose.
You're like slowly falling apart, malnutrition.
That's what it is. It's
vitamins.
It really is more the lifestyle rather than the diet at the end of the day.
The diet helps.
Because you can have a
definitely.
good diet, but if you're sedentary, then
Yeah.
you put stuff on because you're not moving.
Yeah, true.
It's the movement that's important.
Yeah, but it helps.
Anyway,
definitely.
Jared Fogle.
Yeah,
He was a
But-
bit of a sick puppy, huh?
yeah. I think we had an episode about that at some point.
I don't know if we did. Have we talked about Jared?
Yes,
Fogle
we
before?
did, where we were making jokes about how they cloned him and they had one in each
Oh,
location
yeah,
and stuff.
I remember
Whatever.
that, I
But ha ha ha, that was
I
very
remember
funny.
that was a while ago, man. That was
That
like
was
2 years ago now.
That was like 2 years ago, and I
Jared
remember
Fogle.
it.
It's good. You have a memory.
like
Like,
a-
I've never had a memory that good.
I don't have a good memory. I suck. A memory for some
You
reason.
have a better
there are-
memory than me, I would say.
No. Like I have horrible factual memory. Like memory where it's like actually useful stuff. But I'll
would say I'm the
remember like emotional beats really easily. Like I'll remember situations and stuff. Basically what I'm saying is I'm hunted. That's what I am. I'm not like
okay.
a savant, but I'm hunted by every single instance of mistakes I've made in my life, of things of fear, of doubt that I ever made. But and they just kind of appear and resurface every once in a while. And sometimes I remember a cool joke, sometimes, But that's like, that's a thing. But the
That's
food
weird.
snub stuff, I
that's
think
that's not how my memory works. You're kind of a freak for that, I would say.
the biggest food snub, I think.
Oh yeah,
going
I
back
forgot
to
we were
that.
talking about food
It's
snubs.
rather than having like a current one, I have one that's kind of reoccurring, which is whenever we are in the city center, I'll mention the Korean fried chicken place that gave me food poisoning, and that's what I'll say to people. Oh, do you guys want to eat at this place that gave me food? Korean chicken place that you want, fried chicken place that gave me food poisoning. I'll say that to people, and I'll be like, if they said yes, I would have ate there,
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
You
I
hold
just-
a
that's my
grudge,
food
would you
snub.
say?
Honestly, I feel like yes, I
Or
am.
you live
I
and
do.
let live? Oh, okay.
I don't let it live it down. That's the thing that I don't think I hold the
You live and let
grudge because
die.
like if people said yes, like we want to eat at I would have gone there with them.
That's why it sounds like you don't hold a grudge if you're still willing to eat the chicken.
I just
After
inform
it gave you
people,
food poisoning. I think I ate there once and I was fine. So I think it might be because you're allergic to chicken or something. I think it might be because you're weird. I don't think it's the chicken's fault.
You're just mean.
I'm sick of
today.
people
Wow.
blaming. I'm sick of people blaming the chicken. Nobody is
absolute-
ever standing up for the noble chicken.
the noble chicken. I
Yeah.
feel like we do have a bit
I'm a
of
bit rude today. It's because I woke up like an hour ago.
It's 1 a.m. guys.
It's 1
Actually,
a.m.
we're
Yeah, I woke
recording
up
at 1 a.m.
I woke up at midnight. I got my night job in an hour and a half.
Yeah, the full moon rose
Taking
and
care of a parking lot. When I was looking for a job last year, I did keep thinking like, because there are parking job attendant jobs in the council that I could apply for, and I kept thinking, I wonder if that would be chill.
you get to watch videos.
Yeah, I guess.
Or you could get yourself involved in like a horrible horror movie.
That's
Like,
what I
you know,
kept thinking is that what if there's like
actually something
a
happens.
guy like hanging out doing stuff. He's like doing drugs in the corner of the lot or something,
Yeah, you take a hose and you hose him
car
down.
park. I don't
know?
think I would have I don't think I'd have the cojones
You-
to deal with that.
But I think like you develop those eventually,
I think I'd develop a relationship with him. He'd probably wander in, crack pipe in hand, and he'd be like, "Hey Ben." I'd be like, "Hey Jack,
Hi,
more
Jay.
crack today."
Yeah.
You know it. All right, enjoy your crack.
Yeah.
Let me know if you shit
lighting
in the
up.
corner so I can clean it up after you've gone.
Will do. He doesn't. He's still shitting, but he didn't tell
He
you.
would definitely wouldn't. And I don't blame him because he probably forgets because of the crack. To be fair.
That's after he gets that hit, It's a completely
Yeah, it's like
different
kind
world.
of it's like you're basically dealing with a different guy at that point. And although I'm mad, I can't blame him.
Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde or whatever. That's the interesting thing about substances is it really you? You know.
I thought the interesting thing of the substance was it didn't win a single Oscar. Hey
Did it not? Actually, yeah,
no, it
didn't.
didn't win any Oscars. Wait, no, it won like makeup or something. Let me double check. Makeup and hairstyling.
Hello,
Substance.
everybody. This is Dead Ensigns, the #1
Oscars recap.
podcast. And
The Oscars are back, 2025.
This is
We
me,
have the winners
Max,
exclusive.
and this is Ben.
The issue is that we have the winners. Hi, I'm Ben. The issue is we have the winners exclusive now, but by the time the episode releases, they won't be exclusive anymore.
That's true.
Which is
That's
unfortunate.
a shame.
Because we got so many insider friends who let us peek into because we're recording this on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we've got so many insider friends that let us peek into the envelopes and check them out beforehand. So these are exclusive. But unfortunately, we're too lazy to edit the podcast soon before
Yeah,
then.
that's
So
true.
it's still going to be out on Thursday after everybody already knows this one.
That's why we'll never win, you know. We have all these like leg ups that we get in life, but we're just too lazy to take advantage of them. You know?
But
shame.
luckily, at least for now, we can tell you that the real winner was Wicked. That's right, Best Picture winner, Wicked. Best Actor, this was crazy, dude. Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Best Actress was Mikey Madison and Nora, which I think was pretty obvious. Of course, they're going to go for Nora for that one. Or are they going to vote for Demi Moore? Come on.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
on now. Demi Moore? Come on.
Yeah, like she said, she's just like a popcorn actress, right? She doesn't
She's a
deserve an
popcorn
actor.
actress. She's not you gotta have self-confidence to win an Oscar.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Wicked. You gotta have the confidence of the movie Wicked because it's a confident movie. I don't think any movie that is based on like a 2-hour play making the first half of their movie 2.5 hours. That's confidence.
Yeah, we can make this better, and we can make it longer. We can
We'll
make
make it
more
longer.
of it.
We'll make it better. We'll make it more, and we'll make it look ugly as shit. And we'll still win an Oscar.
So
We're
people
joking.
enjoy it.
We're joking. We have the real winners, don't we, Max?
Yeah, we do. Right,
Max,
here
what
on
do you? Let's go through it. We'll ignore some of the ones that nobody gives a shit about, like sound, documentary short, animated short. Come on, man.
Cares
Live
about those?
action short.
They
This is
cut to
ridiculous.
commercials during these ones.
They do cut to code. Do you remember they used to do? They do that. They have like a separate stream or whatever for the technical awards because they're like nobody wants to see this shit.
Nobody wants to care.
Everybody wants to see the stars, the glitz and glamour of Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's
And-
kind of awful, man. The Oscars are terrible, and I think this is an awakening year for people because
Yeah.
it seems like there are a lot of upsets this year. I think.
What was the viewership like on?
I don't know, man. Probably
Do we
like
can-
1 billion people. I think. Everybody loves the Oscars.
Viewers, Oscars 2025.
I guess every year is an eye-opening Oscar because every year kind of just goes to show that they really don't give a shit. They just kind of do it. It's about the pageantry.
Yeah.
Remember the whole thing about how that guy who was like, I'm not voting for Ralph Fiennes because although his performance was good, he already won an Oscar before, so he doesn't need one.
Yeah. It's
And then it turned out that he did not win an Oscar
yeah.
before. The guy was just wrong.
Yeah, it's more.
Ralph Fiennes did not win for Conclave in the end.
No, he didn't. And there was another, just in general, like, you know, like even the stuff with like the Revenant and you know, what's he called?
It's Leo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio, and like people were like, "Oh, he needs to get an Oscar," you know.
It's
He
a
just
bit of a
needs
joke.
to get an Oscar, you know.
It's
so
a
they
bit of a
voted for him.
joke, yeah, but the Oscars do kind of run on that. They do run on the whole, like, ode Oscars. Where it's like, well, this guy wasn't particularly good this year, but we'll give it to him anyway, because we should have given it to him sooner.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
other stuff.
exactly.
It's very silly. It's very silly.
I like the what are they called? Like the awards for like the whole sort of like the whole campaign. Like, you know, Jackie Chan got one and whatever. It's just like
Lifetime
lifetime
awards.
award. I feel like
The
that's
ones that they give to people who are not very good, but they're like, well, you've done a lot of movies.
yeah. I feel like it's just like it's like
But they're
nice
never not like
acknowledgement.
bad actors. It's like It's like Samuel L. Jackson got one a few years ago.
Did he?
But he got,
Really?
well, that's the thing. You don't realize because you know where they gave it to him on the fucking side stream where they do the technical awards. They were just like, yeah, we got for a lifetime achievement Oscar for Samuel L. Jackson. They didn't even put it on the main stage that everybody's watching.
Yeah.
In
Dude, how many people do you think got their Oscars stolen from the fires, from the like remnants of the fire in California that happened this year?
You mean in the Palisades?
Yeah.
I
Some
don't know.
guy
How many
just walking
Oscar winners
around.
live in the Palisades, I guess.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple.
Those shits will probably melt, man.
Yeah, I don't think they're not made of anything that would resist, you know? That
Like,
sort of temperature.
well, because they're gold plated, aren't they? So the
Mm-hmm.
gold would melt off, and then you would just have this like nickel statue of an Oscar. So at that point, it's like not worth any money. I think.
And I don't think you can
People would
sell
be
it.
like, yeah, this is real. This is like fucking 4 pounds of nickel or whatever. I guess I'll give you fucking $25 for it.
And also selling them would be pretty, because it literally is like best, actor or whatever name on it, who belongs, who it belongs to, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, unless someone just collects them, stacks them up in the room, it's like they're all mine.
That's just their thing.
They're all mine. I'm the best actor and best makeup too.
Let's go through some of these Oscars. Here's some of the technical ones I was getting. We will do them. We got makeup and hairstyling. We already went over. That's the substance is only win,
Yeah.
which I think is fair.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I'm kind of like it's a good movie, but it's I don't know if it's like the best picture. Demi Moore's pretty good in it, but she shares. There we go. I'd struggle saying that. She shares the spotlight with Margaret Qualley quite a lot,
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know.
But
sound.
all the other movies are now comparably to they do that much in terms of.
You got A Different Man. A Different Man definitely had good makeup and hairstyling because Sebastian Stan had he had the
The
prosthetic
fake face, yeah,
face
fake
at the beginning,
weird
and that
face,
looked pretty good. Emilia Perez, which is like, whatever. Nosferatu. It would have been a good one. I think the Nosferatu and Nosferatu is pretty good. And then there's Wicked, They made that lady green.
They did.
They did make her green. Sound. Sorry, you were going to say? They did
No, it's
what?
just like she was sitting in the chair for 6 hours, making it green.
True.
every
They should have
day.
done an avatar and just done CGI Alphaba.
Yeah,
And
They
then
should
that
have
way
invent-
she just has to wear the mocap suit.
they should invent a device where you just lower a person into it, and it paints
Yeah.
them in their entirety.
It's like a permanent, or it's like a temporary skin pigmentation for like a year and a half.
Yeah. Or you
You're
ask,
just green. It's like a temporary body modification thing.
yeah. Or you ask the
It'd be cool though.
what the fuck, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, and you
Augustus
ask him
Gloop.
make like a little candy that makes
Make
you
like a green river to fall
exactly.
into,
exactly.
and then get sucked up the green river pipe. Sound. Dune Part 2. Sure.
I guess, yeah.
you know, it's good sounding. Would that be score?
Actually, that's a good point.
The lady screaming. That'd be score, I guess, right?
Yeah, and like even the the way they went with like their drums offbeat, because they're like, they're not supposed to be in rhythm because the worms get attracted to it.
Yeah. You gotta have them out of room.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be exactly? Wouldn't that be score? I don't know.
Visual effects, also Dune Part 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
This was up against Wicked, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Better Man, and Alien Romulus. Yeah, I'll go Dune Part 2 on visual effects, sure.
sure. Yeah.
Let's just blast through these ones because nobody gives a fuck about costume design, Wicked. Who fucking cares, man? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Production design basically doesn't even exist as a job. Wicked. Who cares? AI can do that. Original score. The Brutalist. The Brutalist for original score. I agree. I like the score for The Brutalist a lot.
Yeah,
It was very cool. It's a very good score.
Yeah,
Very cool soundtrack.
I'm trying to think of like what else is like.
Well, we had Conclave. I can't even think of the score for Conclave, really.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to kind of think of what it sounded like, and I
Yeah,
can't
Emilia
remember.
Perez.
I haven't
its
seen The Wild
various
Robot.
incredible songs.
Yeah,
Wicked. That's just a play. You just took the play, man. Leave me alone. The Wild Robot.
It's
Didn't
original
see it.
score for some
Movie for
songs.
children. Didn't see it.
Yeah,
Animated movie at that for children. That's like 2 red marks against it. Who's watching that crap, man? Come on.
that's true.
Can I get a name in, Max?
No, I'm not religious like that.
Fuck. Cinematography, Max. Cinematography. The Brutalist,
What's the order?
which I would agree as well. Cinematography in The Brutalist was very good. I think one of the most striking shots of the year, as many people have said, and I agree because I always follow the crowds. Is the intro when he comes out of the ship and the camera's like soaring through the sky and then it lands on like the upside down Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, and then they
it's very
changed
striking.
They had a cool poster, and then they were like, "How about we have Adrian Brody on the poster instead?"
I mean, the Adrian Brody with the sparks and the cigarette is also pretty raw, to be fair.
It is, but
the
I
upside
don't know.
down Statue of Liberty
it's
is
a bit
better,
more
I agree.
iconic. I feel like than just Adrian
agree.
Brody standing there smoking a cigarette. You know.
I concur, but when you've got an Oscar campaign and you want people to consider voting for Adrian Brody, I guess you got to put him on the poster, right?
Yeah.
You got to put because the Oscar voters, they're based on the anonymous statements by some of the Oscar voters. They didn't finish the movie. They watched like half of it, and then they were like, whatever. Yeah, Adrian Brody, I guess. They need a poster so they can at least look at the poster and go, well, he's the coolest guy on a poster. So I'm gonna he's probably the best actor.
They saw the intermission,
Jumping
they
ahead.
thought the movie finished, and they left.
They were like, no, that's a weird place
That's
to leave. You
weird.
don't
Why
even
is there-
see. It's weird they cut like right when they were gonna show what the thing looks like inside with the light shining down. Weird. Oh well.
Yeah, and then there's a weird countdown on the display, but I guess I'll leave. Maybe that's for the next showing.
Yeah, I guess they're warning you how long it's going to be until the credits are on, if you care. And I didn't really care about the credits, so I turned off the... that one anonymous voter that was like, yeah, I tried to watch The Brutalist through the Academy movie app. I guess they have they don't send out like screeners anymore.
Yeah.
I guess they put the movie on like a streaming app for the Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, the app wasn't working. Like halfway through, it just kept buffering, and I tried to call them, and they were like, we don't know, sorry. And that's why I didn't finish the movie. It's like, what a great like facilities they have.
They should just have a Google Drive of all
They should just have
all
a
the
Google
movies
Drive.
uploaded there.
They will give it like a password, like Hunter21 or something.
Oscar 2025.
Oscars 2025 password.
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
Oscars asterisk 2025. Editing. Honora. Sean Baker edited his own movie, so he got an award here
Nice.
for best
interesting.
editing.
sat
This
there
is
with a
up
cigarette.
against The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. Sure. I feel like I'm a bit of a Luddite when it comes to editing. I feel like I notice very good cuts.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I don't really clock editing.
Yeah, that's true. But I think Anora's out of all of these had the more like interesting from what I trying to
Yeah,
remember.
I mean,
like,
there's the Sean Baker thing where he always cuts from scenes like not necessarily awkward times, but kind of quickly, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times you might like lead into a cut a bit more, but he's a bit more abrupt where it'll just be like next scene, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Be economical, you could say. Not too much like padding of somebody like getting up and leaving and then cutting to transition in. You just kind of like, you already know they're going there. So anyway, international feature, I'm still here. I don't know, man. I'm looking at Emilia Perez.
It's just, how about another Oscar and then another Oscar for
Another
Emilia
one.
Perez?
Another one. They cast a wide net because they knew it was going to get very few, and it did get very few people. They got two.
Brazil, but at least
I'm
apparently
still here.
people from Brazil are mad about Anora.
Are they?
Yeah, it's
Why is
like
that?
it's very vocal community.
It's true.
So they're like, come to Brazil, Anyway,
So they're mad, but they want her to come to Brazil.
No, yeah, they want Anora to come to Brazil. I will show you.
Well,
I'll show you what
I
a good
saw
movie is like.
beforehand people were talking about like it would be very important for I'm Still Here to win because it would force the government's hand to acknowledge that era more, the period in which the movie is about of Brazil.
But the thing is,
Which I think is true, but unfortunately, the Oscars isn't about politics. Okay, so
yeah, that's the thing. The thing
it
is
to
that,
yourself,
like,
buddy.
if we give them, an inch, they'll take a mile.
It's true.
And then
Next year they're
every-
gonna be like, well, this movie about Brazil is also really important.
Yeah,
for winning."
exactly. And then we just have to vote for it.
It
again.
would be like a historic, and then by the end of it, the whole awards are just like. Was that
just
shit
all
that
Brazilian.
was that shit that lady in Amelia Perez said? An Afro Korean film festival or
Oh
something.
no! Oh fuck! What have we done? Yeah, Jesus Christ! Look
Oh,
at this.
no.
I'm looking the.
What?
I didn't realize that. I will send you a link. That
What is this? An aura.
there's a. If you scroll down, there is a ballot, Academy Award ballot at the bottom, like lower
Bottom
down
of the screen.
for
at
the
the bottom of the
IMDb, and
page.
it's I'm Still Here. It's got 33% for winner of Best Picture.
A ballot? What?
Yeah, if you
Box
scroll down
office.
on that page.
How far down? You said it's at the bottom, but I'm like.
It's not
down to
that
the bottom.
completely at the bottom. It's like below the director, writer, and whatever.
Below the right and direction.
All right. What?
Oh, right. There you go. Yeah, I see.
There
it.
you go. Okay. There you go. You
I
found
scrolled
it.
right past it because you were like. Well, this is the thing because this is why, dude. This is why Letterboxd had to remove Brazilian films from their ranking because Brazilian people would go in and they'd rank it 1 billion points.
Yeah, and I'm Still Here.
It's awesome.
33%,
I
you know.
honestly respect Brazilian people for doing stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
really
true.
awesome.
A real community,
It's really
a real
awesome.
collective.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And
that
Nickel
being
Boys
said,
at 3%. Nobody saw that movie.
I think I'm Still Here was really good. I put it above like the substance and stuff.
Mhm.
and I
Yeah,
was like-
true. Mhm.
But I don't know. We'll get to the best. We'll get to the best of the tippity top soon. Documentary feature, No Other Land.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this one, unfortunately.
I
couldn't say.
haven't. We
haven't
haven't
seen
seen-
any of them.
We're troglodytes. We don't know.
Look,
we don't look at documentaries.
documentaries. Look, if I wanted to learn something, I'd go to a night class. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That's true.
So don't bother me with that.
How do I not know? How do I know that these people are objective anyway in these documentaries?
That's the point. It's kind of a crazy thing because documentaries are supposed to be straightforward facts and and objective opinions, but all these Hollywood documentarians, they've always got a motive.
That's
They've always got a
true.
bias.
Because when you see a movie, right, you're like, yeah, I know this is fake because it's a movie. But someone says it's
Exactly.
a documentary, you're like, okay, what's your angle here?
Yeah. Why can't they all just be like Louis Theroux?
That's true.
He was completely unbiased. He never provoked anybody. He was always just straightforward. Like I'm literally just an eye for the viewer, and that's
Yeah.
it.
That's
And,
true.
but they can't do that. Louis, it's a lost art nowadays. They were gonna be like, oh well, I'm not gonna show both sides.
That's true.
I'm gonna take this back. So I remembered the movie that won and that we're essentially talking about, and I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll maybe I won't make these jokes about that one. Maybe I take that back. Maybe I take that. Everything I said just for the last
Yep.
everything I said basically for the last 29 minutes was a joke and does not reflect my actual opinions or the opinions of my employer. Anyway,
Yeah. I say it's in Minecraft.
these opinions do reflect Max and Max's employer, though. So go on in
That's
for those.
true.
Could I imagine if I just chose that for you? If I was just like, Yeah, these are reflective of your blood.
Oh, yeah. You just cast me like that. I'm like, no,
yeah.
please.
Not
You
me,
just
but
cast
him.
me to the shadow realm. I just
Animated
can't do anything
feature.
about it.
Flow. I haven't seen Flow. Oh, it is good.
How dare you?
Movie
Inside
about a
Out.
cat and an ocean or something, and a boat. I think there's a capybara in it and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Supposed to
Memoir
be
of
pretty
a
good.
Snail didn't win. Didn't people love
Thank
that?
God. Yeesh.
Wallace and Gromit didn't win. Oh, wow.
I thought people
What a-
loved Wally and Grommy.
Wally and Grommy.
I think the Wild Robot was the one that everybody was expecting to win because it was like it was the children's movie that all of the adult babies watched. But I heard Flow was a very good film. I'll have to check out Flow. Now that it's won, that means it's basically the only animated movie that's worth watching from that year. So I'll probably check out Flow.
I will probably still not watch it.
That's understandable because I mean it's still animated at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even if it's not for children, it's still inherently like a kids movie.
And
know?
also, I can't see animation.
You physically can't see it.
Yeah, I physically can't see animation.
You have a
It's
thing
just-
where it's like the illusion of life that makes animation and film in general really doesn't work for cartoons for you.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I see? It's like, you know when you get a render error and it just renders the first frame and then it's a still.
You
basically.
just have the Adobe like red screen media is missing message in your view on the screen.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't get it.
Yes, but that's why
This is Spirited
when
Away.
when we were watching Memoir of a Snail, I was like,
You were just like
I was just looking at you guys to gauge like what's happening on
just
the
looking at the screen, frowning, and going, I don't get it. What's happening? What is this? And then you went to the doctor and they told you. Adapted screenplay, Conclave. Yeah?
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. I mean, it's based on a book.
I'm not a writer.
I haven't
Can't
read
re-
any of the books that the movies are based on, so... Sing Sing was a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say that Sing Sing is a better adaptation screenplay than Conclave. That's the thing. But I would say I think Sing Sing is a better movie than Conclave, I would say.
All right. Well,
But whether that translates to the screenplay adapted source material, who knows? Original screenplay, though, Honora.
yeah.
Honora
And
Sean Baker. For the screenplay. And you know what? We'll just jump ahead. Best director too, Honora.
That's true.
The best director.
Yeah. I don't. Fuck. I'm jumping all over this fucking page.
I
This
think,
might-
do you want me to send you the one I'm looking at?
Yeah. Send me the one you're
Because
looking at. 'cause I want
discussing, I'm looking at the discussing film page. Just scroll down to best director. I'm working my way up.
You should have probably done that from the beginning.
Well, you know, I didn't think it'd be that. big of a
What are
deal.
we on now?
Best director
Yeah.
and
Go on.
original screenplay. Both Sean Baker for Honora. I think generally, the Nickel Boys is overlooked in a lot of categories where they would fit.
Yeah. And nobody's seen that film. That's the thing. It does seem
Nobody
like
did
literally
see it.
nobody watched that film.
Which
at
is
all.
a shame, because I think it was the best film of last year.
How did it get
my
nominated?
humble opinion.
Honestly, how did it even get nominated? Who nominates these movies? I don't get it.
Best Supporting Actress. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing about the old Oscars. Zoe Saldana win for Emilia Perez. I think this is an Oscar for Neytiri in Avatar. I think this is for her performance as Neytiri, but the Oscars were too stacked for Avatar 2.
That's true.
So they were
So
like, we'll let it roll over
It's
and
a
we'll give it to her for
proxy.
Emilia Perez, yeah.
it's a proxy, but now they can say Emilia Perez a Oscar-winning movie.
Two
you know?
Oscars. Two
Two
Oscars, Max.
Which one?
Double
What
the
else did they
Oscar.
win?
The fucking costume design or something.
Oh,
was that
costume
Wicked?
design.
Wait,
No,
hold
that
on,
was
no, that might
no
be
costume
Wicked.
design was Wicked. Yeah.
That was oh no, wait, they won song. They won original. We didn't talk about it. They won original song for El Mal.
Fuck, man.
So 2-time Oscar winner.
They had 2 original songs nominated. You can do that.
You can do whatever you want, man. It's the Oscars. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Best supporting actor, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain.
We still need to watch that.
Yeah, that is pretty good. That is okay.
A real Bane.
A real pain.
Yeah,
He was a real pain in the side of Jesse Eisenberg. But do I see Jesse Eisenberg nominated for Best Actor? No, I don't.
He got nominated for like the play or whatever, right?
He does
for
screenplay. He does screenplay. That's like a fake award.
It's a fake. Oh, bro.
It's
It's like getting an A in your
Nobody
English
cares
class,
about that.
you know. Sort of
People
equivalent.
care about the stars, Max. The glitz and glamour. People want to see Kieran
write.
Culkin and go, I remember him from Succession. And you know what? He was up against fucking what's his name? Jeremy Strong as well from Succession. How apropos. I don't know if that's the correct word to use there, but how appropriate.
Edward Norton should have won. For his portrayal of the guy that plays the banjo.
I think Guy Pearce was good, man, in The Brutalist.
Yeah, he was.
It was a good performance. I think I would have given it to Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce. I wouldn't give it to that.
You remember Igor?
Yeah.
Honora?
Yeah.
Honora got enough awards.
Yeah. And also, why
Back
would
off,
you give it?
Igor.
It's also problematic to give it to someone that's, you know,
Yeah.
like a Slavic name. Like
I mean, because people will hear it and they'll be like,
yeah, he's a Russian actor, so, you know, it's like...
And we're not happy with them right now, people.
Not happy
they're bullying
with them.
Zelensky.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, so is our president. They're bullying him.
They're bullying everybody.
They're bullying him.
I feel like this is the age. Like they're gonna, you know, we had the Renaissance age and Enlightenment. We have the bullying age right now.
We're in a bit of a bullying age, which I feel like I'm prepared for now. I think I'm emotionally strong enough to survive the bullying age. More than I was at a younger age. Yeah.
Do you think that... I don't think
No, here's the thing. I'm not saying I can take every insult. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be so big as to say it all rolls off my back like a duck in water or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like water off a duck's back.
Of a frog. Of a
toad. Frog's hydrophobic skin. I'm not going to say that because that's silly. But I think I am better equipped for it now than I was when I was like...
a small child.
20 or 21 or something.
Okay. Still a child, basically.
Not fully developed.
Not
I
fully
think
developed.
I think I can take a bit now.
Especially
I think
a man. A man is like, you know, their brain is like 30. That's when they fully developed brains, you know.
I'm not gonna rule in the age of bullying, but I'm not getting beaten, is what I'm gonna say.
You can bite back sometimes. Is that what you're saying?
More like I can take the blows. I don't think I'm gonna. That's what I don't think I can bite back. I don't think I'm.
You got thick skin.
I'm not particularly clever.
So what you're saying is instead of your
I think I'm clever,
water
but not
coming
quick.
sliding off of your back, it's actually you have a skin that's callous enough to be able to take the beating.
Calloused skin, water also goes off of because of the calluses. It doesn't get absorbed.
I guess you're right.
I think probably. No,
need to get
because the callus
Mythbusters
gets
on
like
this.
weird and swampy if it gets too wet. Right? It's kind of
You get trench foot, yeah. You get trench foot.
What I'm trying to say is I'm not quick-witted enough to come up with insults in return, but I'll tank the damage.
You're a tank build for the bullying
I'm
age.
a bit of an emotional tank build, I would say.
That's good.
A little bit.
Okay.
Not like a huge degree, but it's probably my strongest stat.
Best actress.
Best actress, Mikey Madison for Honora.
Honora?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I'm bad at this sort of stuff. I don't like ranking people.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. The nominations are easy because it's easy to look at a group of people and say they were all fantastic.
He's good performance.
But then when you have to choose one, it's like, I don't know.
Who gives
I
a
don't know,
fuck?
is Mikey Madison better than Fernando Torres and I'm still here? I don't know. Because I liked her and I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did like Mikey Madison and Honora as well. It's hard to say. Who brings the most nuance?
What I think is like,
and I think
if
I'm
they
gonna
took
go
me
with
out,
Fernando Torres. I think Fernando Torres was maybe more deserving.
they could maybe make up my mind if they like took me to dinner, maybe.
You want to be coerced. You want to be
Yes.
bribed.
Yes,
That's fair.
that's what
I do that.
I'm
As fun as it
implying.
would be to be on the academy, it would be hard to avoid letting that go to my head and try and benefit from it.
Yeah. If you want to get nominated by or win an award that will host in the future, take it to dinner.
I was thinking we should start a podcast where we try and become academy members. Like we document our journey.
I don't think we can. Is it just all Americans?
No, you have to be in the industry. But that would be part of the journey.
Oh.
You got to
We
be like
make
working
up-
member in the industry. But that's the thing. Yeah, we start working on like screenplays or something until we're selling screenplays, and then that's
Yeah.
step one done.
And we make like a fake. But the thing is that nobody wants to buy it, so we have to like make a fake chain of like events. You know, we'll make up like shell companies that bought our screenplays, so we're buying the screenplays from ourselves. But then we're flaunting that fact as, you know, like we're like, oh, you know, like we got our screenplay bought, and they'll be like one day they'll be like, oh, do you want to be a part of the academy? We'll be like, yeah.
It would be a good artistic statement as well, because who's
Yeah.
to say if we're part of the industry? You know,
Exactly, that's true. You know,
if we're creating our own movies in a way that looks official, in that we have many different companies that are buying and selling from each other in order
Yeah.
to make a movie, who's to say that isn't the industry? Huh?
that's true. Yeah.
And why do
And-
we know we should be we should be allowed to say who the best picture winner is?
And then that one day they'll buy our scripts for real and be like, oh fuck, and then we win an Oscar and we're like, oh fuck, shit, man, that wasn't supposed to happen.
And we'll win like a Pulitzer Prize for podcasting.
That's
Because
true.
the journey will be so fascinating.
That'll be so fascinating, you know.
It'd be like, wow, you have to go through so much just to be an academy member.
Yeah.
And this is every step of the way.
yeah.
That's
Or we'll-
incredible.
We'll have to like hide the fact that we made all that stuff up. You know, because we got real success from fake. We manufactured real success.
Yeah.
But if people find out, that's when we lose everything. You know?
Well, I think another aspect of it as well is that we need a sponsor. So we need to implore Academy voters to come to us and sponsor us to be allowed in.
Yeah. I would find like someone that's like, you know, really old. Like
Yeah.
really old.
About to
Their brain
die.
isn't really there, you know?
They're like, I'm on my way out. I need 2 young bucks to come and take my place.
No, I was thinking more like elderly abuse stuff
Oh, okay.
rather than not
Well,
like
yeah, I guess.
they were like, oh, I need someone young to revel. No, it's just like pulling a scam basically on someone really old, you know.
Best actor. Back to the Oscars. Best actor. Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Are you kidding me, bro? AI is winning now.
Yeah, AI, and it's
AI is winning.
apparently someone tried to take off his nose between shots, which was pretty funny.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he just got a nose like that. Come
He's
on,
got like kind of a big, and it's like it is actually a little crooked, isn't it?
it is.
I
And
didn't realize.
Yeah, it's
a
a
little
big
busted.
thing where it's like my face was broken while I was on the ship, so they gave me heroin.
Yeah, and then he got addicted to the heroin. Which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
The best drug to get addicted to.
I would say, I think it was more deserving for Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. You didn't
okay.
see Sing Sing.
I haven't seen
You should check
Sing
it out.
Sing.
It's a good film. But I think that, similar to Nickel Boys, is one where it just like it just got very overlooked. It honestly should have been up for the best picture as well. Definitely more so than like A Complete Unknown and Wicked and Amelia Perez and shit. Hell, maybe even The Substance.
Ooh,
But the
he said it.
the substance fills a certain niche, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely
Definitely broadens the portfolio of the best picture.
we can't just.
nominations.
I feel like it's a cool original story in terms of like, you know,
It is,
It's not a Sing Sing is like a real thing, right? It's like based on a real thing that happened.
Yeah, and you may as well just read a book about it instead of watch a movie.
exactly. Or watch like a 2-minute like short.
Like a YouTube
telling you
show
about
or something.
a guy in the prison that sings and organizes, and it's like, how much more information do you
These
really need
prison
about this?
inmates organized a theater troupe to get
Yeah.
out of prison on good behavior.
And then it like it shows the footage of them like doing the shit, but no sound, so you don't even know what they actually like.
It's like one of those videos where an AI voice just reads a synopsis of a movie,
Yeah.
as though it were like a story,
Mm-hmm.
and not
That's-
the synopsis of a movie on
I
Wikipedia.
fucking hate that shit. It's
That's
fucking
crazy. When I found out that that was a thing that people just do on YouTube, that was so funny.
It's just
Oh yeah.
yeah. I found myself sometimes like I will like look at YouTube because like I don't use TikTok, and the only like short form content I'll look at as short, like YouTube short once in a while, and I'll catch myself doing that where I'll like look click a random video and I'll go like, why the fuck did I just watch this? It'll be a synopsis of a movie I haven't seen. It's
They
like,
get-
why did I do
I-
this?
I don't look at YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or TikTok, but they get filtered to me through people I follow on Twitter. So I just
Okay.
try to see them there, and I'm like, that was a funny one because they get filtered.
Yeah.
I avoid all the like people trying to Google stuff on TikTok style TikToks and stuff like that.
Okay.
Best picture. Are you ready, Max?
Yeah.
This is the best picture according to the Academy of 2025.
Yeah.
It's Sonora.
Wow.
It's Sonora, baby. Hey, that's Sonora.
I wasn't
Is that anything?
expecting it that much, honestly.
I think it was between this and Conclave, personally.
Yeah.
I think these had the strongest push behind them.
I was
Honora
hoping
is
that
a
Nickel
very-
Boys would get acknowledged a little bit more. That's why I
Nickel
was like,
Boys is the one that deserves it, but yeah, I mean, everybody knew going in that like Nickel Boys isn't winning. Although it is the best movie out of all of these, it's not winning, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense though. Honora is a very digestible film, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
You know? Similar to Kong, but it still has like nuance to it, you know.
A Complete Unknown is a more
It's a
digestible
bit of a romp.
movie.
No, I'm not
Where
saying
it's
that
just,
it's
it's
the
just-
most digestible movie.
It's just a movie about a guy, you know, that wanders around and makes music.
Being
but
reductive. That wasn't the only point that I had about it. That's not what I'm saying. But I think it's a big
complete-
factor because I think a big reason, and it was said as a joke, but I do think a big reason why Emilia Perez was up here to begin with is because it was on Netflix. At the end of the day, it's very easy to access. A lot of these films are not easy to access and get no pushback. They get no
Yeah.
push behind them, you know.
Because
But Emilia Perez, people just put on it. Boop, boop. Ooh, Emilia Perez. Let me check this out.
yeah, it's
right
pretty
here
funny
on
with
my
like the thing that you said, which is like, oh yeah, the fucking app didn't work. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when I was like trying to see like I'm Still Here. Here came out quite a while ago, I think, at this point, right?
Well, for me, no, it was in cinema like last week.
Oh, really?
Over the
I think
last,
it's
like,
a
month or
UK
so.
thing because I think
Yeah,
the
probably.
original release date it was like
In
last
Brazil,
year.
Brazil, it probably came out there, but
Yeah.
then you have to. But getting it distributed in other countries is always a really fucking lengthy process. Unless
Yeah,
you're, like, a
exactly,
huge-
and it's like
Let's see, when did I'm Still Here come out in Brazil? September. Oh no, that was its Venice. That was the Venice. Brazil, 7th of November. So it's not that old.
okay,
A
yeah.
couple months.
But still, you know, accessing that movie outside of Brazil, I guess, you know, and that's the thing. It's like having that time window because it's like now that time window gets pushed closer to the Oscars, you know, and it's like you could have rated it a while ago. At least have time or more opportunity to see it before, you know, and stuff like that. I don't know, but it's yeah. Ooh. I guess Honora is a good fit for this.
It's a good movie. I like Honora. You're right. It's up there for me. I think it's. I don't think it's Sean Baker's best movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Florida Project.
Mm-hmm.
I think I already said this when we talked about Honora.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can listen to that. But you know, it's definitely deserving. But I don't know. Nickel Boys. 'Cause I didn't know anything going into Nickel Boys, and I was shocked at what I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fantastic, and I haven't heard fucking
Anybody
Jack.
say
I didn't hear
anything.
Jack about this film until it was nominated.
Yeah.
People weren't talking about it, and then it got nominated, and then people started watching it, and then it didn't win because of that.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. But that's why the Oscars are at least handy for the nominations, because you can at least get a hint, a glance into movies you hadn't heard of before.
Yeah.
And check them out and go, wow, that was actually really fantastic. And then when it comes to the actual awards, take them with a grain of salt. They don't really matter that much. People get a bit worried because they go, well, if a movie wins a big award, then that's going to influence the kind of movies that get made, you know?
Oh, yeah, but who cares?
But I don't think that's true. A much bigger indicator is social media. Do you know that whole thing about how, like, I think it was, Ethan Hawke's daughter?
I've heard the people talking about the fact that, like, producers look at your follow account. and
Yes,
stuff
that's
like
what
that.
she was. She
Yeah.
did a big into. She talked about it, where it's like she was trying to get a movie made, and
That's a bit
they were
insane.
like, "Well, we can't have that because they haven't got enough Instagram followers."
Yeah, it
And
is a
it's
bit
like,
sad.
what
honestly.
do you mean? And it's like, well, they just don't have enough, so that we're not we're not
Yeah, we
gonna
don't-
do it.
like,
you
not only
don't
are we-
simply don't have enough.
When
It's
not only is
ridiculous.
it's so weird because it is a literally quantification. Because like an actor, right? Previously, we go like Brad Pitt, big actor, right? You know,
Yeah.
you know him. He's like been in a lot of movies, and but you didn't
I
really have
don't,
an
but continue.
but you didn't have an indicator of like followers because social media wasn't really a thing. Or I guess maybe his presence in the tabloids maybe would have been like, oh, he's got a lot of coverage in terms of like popular magazines. But nowadays, actors have a literal number attached to them, like a literal
There's a quantifiable
Yeah.
number
Yeah.
of this person has 100,000 followers. You know?
So these are potential ticket sales, basically, that you can basically buy by giving this actor the role, right?
It's crazy.
That's why I wonder how many Chris Pratt's got. Now I'm thinking about it.
I mean, at this point, probably. I feel like they weren't doing this when Chris Pratt was coming up.
Yeah, I know, but currently now.
Currently, I mean, well, that's the thing. Big actors, I don't think they have Instagrams really because of that.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I
they
think
don't
it's-
need to worry about it. But if it's more of like if you're trying to like get traction in the industry and get work, then you need to like do this.
You need to
bullshit.
do fucking social media influencing, basically. It's all going to be soon enough, I guess, if we go down that path. It's going to be more like in a few years, it's all going to be social media influences that are in movies.
Chris Pratt has 45 million followers.
Well, that's a lot of ticket sales, you know.
It's quite a few tickets. Are you
That's
going to see
quite a
The
few.
Electric State when it comes out on Netflix?
What the
in
fuck is
2
Electric
weeks?
State?
The Electric State is the new Russo brothers movie, Max.
Oh, I didn't
With
know
Chris
that.
Pratt and Millie Bobby
Pratt?
Brown.
Right. State. 2025. Oh, look at him.
It's
that
about
him?
robots or something. With the long hair? Yeah, he's got like longer hair.
Wow, that's he looks like a
Yeah,
surfer.
about this movie.
He looks
He
like a
does kinda.
surfer-esque guy.
Um,
But yeah.
Yeah, it's
What else?
weird. It's crazy. That's the shit that dictates what movies gets made nowadays.
Yeah. But that's also
Probably how Better Man got made. People were like, this Robbie Williams guy has got 1 billion followers or something.
It's true, actually. Yeah, these
Let's
are
get that
potential
movie out
ticket
there.
sales, and nobody wants to see it.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Yeek.
But the biggest failure of the Academy and the biggest thing that was the biggest disappointment is that
No video
Megalopolis
games.
Megalopolis didn't win anything for the Oscars and also got a Razzie nomination for the worst director or whatever. And yeah, it's
Robbie
there's a
Williams
quote
has
here.
3.2 million followers.
so
Not
less
as big
than
as Chris Pratt.
because Chris Pratt.
Still enough for them to be like, yeah, we'll take a risk on that.
That's true. But there's this quote from Coppola
Coppola.
about his nomination, In this wreck of the world today, where art is given scores as if it were professional wrestling, I choose to not follow the godless rules laid down by the industry, so terrified of risk that despite the enormous pool of young talent at its disposal may not create pictures that will be relevant and alive in 50 years from now.
Thank you, Grandpa. I'm inclined to agree.
I don't believe that. That's a very big thing to say, that nothing will be created that will be relevant in 50 years. That's a big thing to say. I don't like that at all. This is extremely dismissive.
We'll have to wait 50 years. It is very dismissive. But I agree with the sentiment in that it's like, it's definitely why the Oscars always feel so hollow, because it's like, the way the industry is set up to, I mean, like we were just saying, follow social media and follow trends, you know, as opposed to give way to younger talent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I don't fully agree with him, but I am kind of aligned with him generally, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like
Personally,
cool things will be created and cool things are gonna exist, and they're gonna stick in people's minds. And the thing is that it's just not gonna be in the format that he knows, like an award, Oscars or stuff. You know, like it will just be acknowledged by the world, humanity as a whole. You know, we don't need those channels anymore. You know. Mm. And I feel like he sees the world in that way still, you know, that that there has to be awards and stuff, you know. But you know, whatever. I think we just moved on a little bit from that, you know. But yeah,
you play Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, I've played Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been hunting every day, you know, killing creatures. This is the end of Oscars. Now it's hunting time for me.
We're done with Oscars. The season for hunting awards is over. Now we're hunting monsters. We're hunting a Balahara. We're hunting
yeah.
Lalabarina.
Mm-hmm.
We're hunting Gongolala.
Mm-hmm.
And who could forget the mighty Doshigama?
Yeah, the farting gorillas. The shitting farting gorillas.
That's Kongolala is the
Kongolalas. I don't remember their names. I just killed them.
The Shagama.
Every single time.
You know the big bear? The big bear guy? That's the Shagama.
Mm-hmm. The Shagala.
Doshigama.
Every single time I go hunting a creature, they'll be like, please don't kill me. And then I'll go, I don't even know your name. And then I saw their horns off, you know, with a saw. And then
sorry, buddy. I need a new weapon, sheath.
Yeah. According to me, you're an invasive species.
Yeah, I've decided.
Decided
you're an invasive species. I'm going to kill you, your family, your children. They're all dead.
This game has been really weird in terms of looking at like the reaction. I think it's still on mixed on Steam
because this game was huge, big reviews.
People rated it highly, but still
official reviews outlets, video game industry news outlets said, "You want to check this out? This is a big game, big game of the year contender already." We're looking at high Metacritic score, video game Rotten Tomatoes score. We should make the video game Rotten Tomatoes.
True.
Nobody's has it yet. They just look at Metacritic like sheep. They should be looking at our video game Metacritic Rotten Tomatoes like sheep instead.
That's true.
This was a big game, and it's. I think this is the way that Batman. The Batman series. I think there was an IGN review for the third Batman Arkham game that wasn't made by Rockstar Studios, not Rockstar, Rocksteady, where it was like, this game is nowhere near as good as the other Batman games, but it still has the exact same formula. So it's still like very good and very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they described it like pizza, where it's like, it's not good pizza, but pizza is inherently good. So it's still pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
And I think this is a metric that applies to this Monster Hunter game.
Mm-hmm.
Where as far as Monster Hunter goes, it's kind of like a step back in some ways.
It hasn't
And has a
evolved
lot of
much.
strange. It's got a lot of strange decisions with the online infrastructure. It's got a lot of strange decisions with the structure and pacing of the game itself.
Yeah.
And generally is a weird game when you come from like 4 or World or Rise. I didn't play Rise, but I hear a lot of people. There were a lot of quality of life improvements in Rise that are not present in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very strange. But at the end of the day, it is still fun to go and fight the monsters. You know, it's still fun to go out there and press the buttons and kill the monsters. So it's awkward because you're like, I don't know, this isn't the best Monster Hunter game, but unfortunately, it's still a really awesome game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you're into the Monster Hunter series, you'll still probably like the. I can't say that because apparently that's pretty. Like for the algorithmically, that word is pretty bad.
Oh shit! You gotta bleep it.
I'm gonna bleep it
twice. Yeah.
But yeah, if you like Monster Hunter, you will probably still like this game. And the only issue that's people been kind of plagued by is performance issues on specifically PCs. Computers.
People are scouring this game to find little things they can change and turn on, just little settings that are on by default.
Yeah.
Even down to the what are the like little notepad files that people go into and edit stuff, like config stuff.
You mean like registry stuff, like just
stuff
config,
like that. They just go in and change values and stuff to try and make it run better. It's difficult, and it's the same thing that has happened with like, it's the same thing that happened with like the Dragon's Dogma 2 game, because this RE engine that they use now for their games struggles.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very fancy engine, but I don't think it's super well optimized. And it seems to be whenever they want to make an open world game with it, it's really hard. It's really tough. When it's good when you want to do like direct linear games, when you want to do a Devil May Cry 5, when you want to do a Resident Evil, or you want to do like fights in Street Fighter, just like regular ass, just the fights. It's like, it looks really nice, it works well. But then you do an open world, you do a Dragon's Dogma 2 or a Monster Hunter Wilds, where it's all seamless world now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets a little tough.
Yeah, there's multiple entities, and like specifically Monster Hunter, you have a lot
with each other.
Yeah, you have an ecosystem, I guess, in a way. Actors that are rendered out of sight because they have to do stuff while you're not looking at them, stuff like that. But
now, performance aside, because it doesn't look nice on my PC, but it runs okay. I've got it on very low settings, so it's kind of ugly, but it works well. My biggest problem is the pacing of the game, at least as far in as I am in the low rank, is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I think currently it's like you spend like maybe 40-45 minutes on cutscenes and like on-rail walking bits and talking and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to fight a monster, and I'm having so much fun. I'm fighting the monster. It's dead. I was fighting it for like 6-7 minutes. It's done.
Yeah.
And now I have another 40 minutes of cutscenes before I fight a monster, which is a little annoying, a little boring.
Yeah, the fights at the beginning specifically are pretty not that challenging.
But this is the thing, you need to clarify, because you say the beginning, and I feel like if you say the beginning, it makes people think like, oh, what, the first like 2 or 3 hours? I've been playing for a while, and they've all been really easy, and they've all been like 6-7 minute fights every single time.
Yes, it's been like that, but like even on high ranks, Ben, like even when I was like playing on the high ranks, they're not too difficult either currently. Like maybe I need to get even higher for them to become kind of like. Although every single fucking, I don't know if it's a tiny spoiler. I don't remember if any fucking of the squid-like fucking monsters can go fuck itself.
The octopus? I like the octopuses.
I hate the octopus. Basically, I don't like them at all.
Sick, dude.
This
is a big positive for Wild for me. For Wilds, is that in terms of monster design and concepts, they're very cool. They're branching out in this one. There's a lot of weirdos in this one.
The thing is that I don't like the movesets and when you fight them. I like the design. The designs are cool, but the actual fights themselves are not fun at all, in my opinion, at least for the squid monsters. But
I like the octopuses. The ones I haven't enjoyed so much are the spiders.
The spiders also because they move very quickly and
they're
they're
spindly, quick movements. And I don't really like monsters where you have to aim up a lot because it means I have to like lower my camera down so my hunter will aim upwards, and I can't really see anything, because the camera doesn't go through the ground. It starts sliding along the ground, and my view becomes more obscured. It's kind of annoying. But, that aside, it's like, I don't know, it's still fun. I like hitting things with my weapon.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I carve them, and then I go and make a new weapon with them.
Yeah, I haven't made a new weapon in a while, so I'm being hit.
Yeah, but you're like, I wasn't, you're very far in.
Nah, I'm not that far. There's people that are further.
I mean, I've been playing. There's definitely people that are further, but I've been playing this weekend. I'm like Hunter rank 5 or 6. Yesterday, I go and look at my Hunter friends list, and I see your rank fucking 27.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy.
I'm just pretty good at the game too. So.
All right, bro.
I don't really struggle with any of the monsters.
That's why I'm saying I'm not struggling with them either.
Yeah, I'm on the higher difficulties too.
You're just blitzing through the game, is what I'm saying.
Well,
but it becomes hard because this is the thing. This one was supposed to be the one where it's like, we're gonna do like a cinematic story. We're gonna do like a big narrative, and unfortunately, the narrative is still ass.
Yeah, and it takes like that's the thing. I already skipped so much of this stuff that I'm gone. I can't go back to it. Like there is no way for. I guess you can. There is pretty funny because after every cutscene it says, if you want to watch the cutscene again, you can go into the gallery to watch it. Yeah.
This is the thing. Is like I don't. There's lots of cool concepts for areas and world building, and the characters are more fleshed out than they used to be. But there's still not like an interest. It's still the same narrative as like Worlds that's binding it all, which is there is a big scary monster that's fucking up the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And we need to stop that monster.
Fucked. We gotta do so. The hunting league has to come around and fix this, by killing monsters. And
it's like the things that you I think would be good to improve are like the narrative and how it unfolds, and what we're doing, and not necessarily just being like, oh, look, Gemma is here. You all love Gemma, don't you? The blacksmith? Yeah. Well, she's like a full character on the adventure with you now. And she's running around. Do you know Nata? His family got killed, and he's here all the time talking about how sad he is his family is dead. Yeah. It's like, I don't give a fuck. And the way it integrates the gameplay is that you'll just be walking around doing the story, and then Congalala will appear. And be like, or like fucking Lala Barina will grab one of your party members and be like, I'm gonna eat this kid. Then you'll be like, well, Hunter, go stop Lala Barina from eating our friend, the scientist. So you kill Lala Barina, and the scientist comes back, and they go, oh man, what a fight. Anyway.
let's go somewhere else, and
Let's do
something
some
else
others.
is going to
Let's do
attack
some more
us.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's walk 5 feet in this forest, and some little fucking Ewoks will say, "Can you go kill Kongalala for us, and then we'll help you." And then you go kill Kongalala, and they go, "All right, thanks." Anyway, thank you.
Yeah,
Now Kongalala is dead. It's fucking boring. And do you
one-
want to know something? That you only hunt one monster. There's only one monster that you hunt in the game, and that's the fucking octopus. Every other monster just gets dropped in front of you, and it goes, "Quick, we gotta kill this guy." The
Yeah,
octopus
that's true.
appears and runs away, and it goes, "Go find the octopus," and you find it in like
Yeah, you
2
have to
minutes.
find
but at
the
least you
clues.
actually have a step of like, "Oh, I have to find this guy." Where
Mm-hmm.
is he? I don't know where he is. I have to find him. Everything else just gets dumped in front of you, and it goes, "All right, get Doshagama. He's here.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go deal with him." It's not great.
No, and I don't know. Like, I don't think it's. I don't even know how you fix that stuff because there's just been so many games in the Monster Hunter League or like the what is it called, like the series that it's just
Franchise.
they're all the same. They're all the same. They're all written the same. I don't know if it's like I don't know. I can't even tell if like I don't know. I feel like I think the big problem is that it just takes so long. All the cutscenes are so long. They talk so much, and
40
I'm just
minutes of story, 5 minutes of fighting a monster.
you just it is so
Over and
much
over.
shit that they're like volume even of just talking is just so insane, you know.
And you
Um,
never really get a sense that any of it is particularly important.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Very
where it's
few
just like
crucial information in there.
there is nothing in just like if it was like if it didn't have to be crucial, but at least it would be like an interesting story. But there isn't like an interesting story there
Characters
either.
repeating themselves. I had a friend I was talking to, and she was saying how like the worst line of dialogue in the game so far for her is there was a scene where characters were talking about an underground tunnel, and they're like, "We need to go through the underground tunnel. The underground tunnel is this way." "Oh, we need the underground tunnel?" "Yes, we need the underground tunnel." And they go in the underground tunnel, and Alma says, "Wow, this is real. This really is an underground tunnel." It's like, what is this? What are we doing, man?
Yeah, it's just like
This is
contradictions when it comes like
terrible.
I think we spoke about it before. Where it's
Awful
just
dialogue.
it's just like fucking like your guy supposed to be like an established guy, like he's a hunter that people
Yeah,
know.
this is
but
the
you-
Fallout 4 now, where your
but you
guy
s-
is like a voiced guy who has his own choices, basically.
but you still got a fucking like. They tell you how to use a fucking sword, you know, like
you're
they
not
tell
a
you how
character.
to.
Although you're voiced, you're just as much not a character as you were in like World.
Yeah. So what the fuck is the point? Yeah, at least
yeah.
before you could like I don't know, ignore him a little and like cast yourself into it. But now he's got like a, and I also picked a really dumb voice for my guy, and I'm like, fuck, man.
Well, I
Every
mean, we
single
want
time
to talk about dumb. I made a dumb character, but
Yeah, you
that's
made-
not really a problem. I don't care if it's not ruining the story for me that my guy is a fucking ghost of a man or anything.
Yeah.
Because at
So-
at the heart of it, even if I made like a super awesome, like, oh, this guy is his name is Danvor, and he's an old retired hunter, but he came out of retirement just to come and help them in the east after he heard Nata's harrowing story. Even if I had like this big backstory in my mind for my character, it's not like he does it. He just goes like, "Tell me more about the forge.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go fight this thing then."
He's a
time
guy
to
to
go.
He's there to ask questions,
Yeah.
so then you can hear the answers. You know,
Exactly.
Like, he doesn't have a guy, and you don't. I don't think you even make choices in general in this game. You don't get to like.
You don't get to make choices.
There isn't a branching story anyway, so
Yeah. It's not
So
like
they could've-
Guardians of the Galaxy, which I finished this week. It was
so
a
they
good
could
game.
have made him a bit more of a character. You know, why not? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think at the same time, it's the same thing that happened with like Fallout 4, where they are aware that people don't want them to be like a completely linear character, where it's just like you are playing as Jack Hunter, you know? They still want you to have some semblance of like an RPG, so you can be like, oh, this is my guy for my story.
yeah,
But also they want it to feel more cinematic, and it's not very cinematic if you have a character that doesn't say anything, I guess.
yeah.
So you need to have him say something. You need to have him say stuff in cutscenes every now and then. So it's not
Yeah, but
just somebody says something to him and he nods or shakes his head or goes,
They want to, they have but in Fallout, it's like they want it to be more cinematic, but then they do the fucking classic, the conversational camera, and it's like, that's enough for me to be drawn out of the game. It's like, what's the point, at that point, when you're gonna be limited in that regard. But yeah, like you said, it's just like, just have him go do grunts, and Monster Hunter will be fine,
I think so far, I prefer World as a Monster Hunter game, because this is supposed to be more of a, because Rise wasn't really a follow-up to World. It was more in line with like older Monster Hunters, like the main series of like 1, 2, 3, 4 generations, that kind of stuff. Wilds is supposed to be like the follow-up of like the big cinematic, like realistic Monster Hunter kind of vibe. And so far I think it's a bit of a step backward.
I do like some of the mechanics, like the aiming mechanic.
That's the thing.
Like,
I would love World would be perfect if it just had the focus aspect that Wilds has. Focusing is incredible. I love being able to strafe properly, essentially. Yeah. I find myself holding down the focus button pretty much most of the fight at this point,
Yeah.
Because it's just it's just too good to be able to like dual stick aim at a monster really easily,
Yeah, and it just makes
like I'm playing an FPS.
Takes out the frustration of like, I don't know, even just the... Because you could have, playing Monster Hunter, you could learn to set up attacks in a way where it was like, you could land them properly, but it just makes it easier, it makes it a bit like more accessible to, more fun, basically, less whiffing of things where you like charge up this huge attack and then you whiff it, and it's like, fuck
especially because you can like turn mid-attack, so if it's like a 2-part attack, you can do the first part, and then if the monster moves, you can quickly try and like rotate yourself around and
readjust and stuff, so it
and
makes
the wounds
it more...
and everything are really fun and cool to use when you see a big red glowing wound and you do your focus attack. And you do some big fucking like blast on it. It feels also this is why the game is so difficult to talk about, because at the end of the day, I'm still having so much fun when I actually get to play it. When I actually get to go out and fight a monster, I'm still having so much fun.
It's when then
it's everything else around it that's kind of like...
They try to talk to me, like, just fuck off, tell me what to kill, just
every
tell
time
me what I
it's
need
like,
to murder.
Every time it's like, your objectives are like, go and do this, and then underneath is like, optional, talk to Nata. I'm like, I'm not talking to Nata.
Yeah, I'm not talking to...
I'm not talking to Nata. Why would I talk to Nata?
It is very funny.
I want to fucking hype fun on monsters.
It is very funny when it comes to the thing that we brought up again, was just like stumbling into monsters constantly, because when you start skipping those cutscenes, you're suddenly wandering around like, la la la, they're just talking, and then you skip and you're in the middle of like a creature like roaring at you suddenly, because you skip 20 minutes.
I'm not skipping. I'm not skipping cutscenes still.
I skip cutscenes. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like
I'm still
tried.
I'm still like, because maybe it'll pick up. Maybe they'll be like, well, the story's mostly bad, but the last couple hours are interesting or something.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
So I'll give it a go, but it's not very good. I was thinking, like, I just feel like the narrative should be more... It just needs to be more ingrained in what you're doing, I suppose, in the actual fights. Like, I was thinking about it yesterday, and it's like... I feel like the narrative should be in service of setting up special, unique fights that aren't, like, proper hunts, basically. You know? Yeah. Like, I don't know. This is a really basic example, but if there's, like... Oh, the Omega Rathalos is here. You still have the same structure of, like, there's a big monster that's fucking up everything. Yeah. You have, the Omega Rathalos is here, Look out, Omega Rathalos is too strong, he's taking out everything. We as a hunter can't do anything about it on our own. Maybe they're like, oh, we need to capture monsters, and then they do like, and then you send out the monsters with you to like fight Rathalos, You have like specific story capture missions, like we need to capture a Kongalala and a fucking Paulamu or something. And then you go fight Omega Rathalos, and when you do the story fight for Omega Rathalos, fucking Kongalala and Paulamu are there, also hitting it or something, or like elder dragons or some shit. You need to capture an elder dragon. It's just crazy because you can't capture an elder dragon; they're too strong. So you have to develop a way to capture an elder dragon, and then you have a capture an elder dragon mission. And then when you go fight Omega Rathalos, you bring out fucking Kieran. Kieran is doing lightning bolts on it alongside you or some shit. Stuff like that. Like the story should be in service of that. Like, give me cool concepts for story missions to do, not just like
go hunt this thing.
Dude. Nata is gonna have the saddest backstory ever.
Mm-hmm.
He walked 3 days across a desert on his own just to get help. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, I guess.
I don't know, and
I don't
I'm
really
thinking
care
like
about him.
when you look
give a
at the
shit. He's kind of
distance
annoying.
that he walked, I'm like, that's not possible. Like he couldn't do that.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
but that's why that's why it's so. It's why he's such a good character, because it's like,
That's
holy,
true.
he walked all that way for help.
He's so
That's
brave.
crazy. He's so brave.
A brave
Nata is the
child.
bravest character we've ever had before in Monster Hunter.
I don't know, man. But whatever. Fun game.
Fun game anyway.
Flawed game, I guess you could
We'll
say.
see. We'll see where we're at when the big expansion DLC comes out in like a year.
Oh
and a
yeah.
half. When they do Monster Hunter Wilds,
Wilder. Gene Wilder.
Rehunt, rekill.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I watched some stuff. I don't really want to talk about it because we're ending the episode. But
yeah, last
not gonna
episode
bring
of Severance was very good, I guess.
oh yeah, that we were planning to talk about Severance, but it's been an hour and
We
20
don't need to
minutes,
like
and I'm
talk
not-
about Severance, but the last episode was like exceptionally good. That was very good, very beautiful episode.
Yeah,
Of TV.
They got their the cinematographer to direct it, I think. So that's
This
why
was
it looks very
this was her
different.
debut. Yeah, the cinematographer. It's the first episode she's directed,
That's why it was different looking.
and they do some
it was
crazy.
great.
There was one shot. You know, the shot where they're at like the desks, and Miss Casey is talking to Mark and stuff about Helly.
Yeah,
And then the camera like comes through and fucking like goes through all these wires and shit, you know?
yeah.
It like draws out and look at the ceiling and then it gets pulled through all these wires. Is like that entirely in camera. Like they set
Nice.
that up. That's not digital
insane.
or anything. And it's like, holy fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The director, she was like, yeah, that was like the most complicated shot I've ever had to do with a DVD.
I would imagine, yeah.
It's like,
To do such
it's
a
not
insane
surprising, but it
transition,
looks
yeah.
incredible stuff. Just like a masterclass of direction in that episode.
Yeah.
And
I
it
guess
was, and generally, just the writing wise, it was a beautiful episode too. We finally got like a real look at Gemma and Mark's past, and a little hint at what's going on. All of the innies, you know, all of MDR have like people watching them, but they're like kind of twins almost, you know.
Yeah, they're
Did you
almost
catch it,
like reflections of the character they're watching, yeah, but
Like
like
Dylan
not
is
really.
a big guy. There's this like redheaded lady for Helly. There's a guy who kind of not like a middle-aged white guy for Mark. And
Yeah.
there's a guy for Irving, and you see later on the Irving guy is gone because Irving gets fired, obviously,
Yeah.
for the stuff on the expedition or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is a good episode all
gets
around. What
killed,
a good show.
in a
Got
way.
killed essentially.
I'm
I'm glad Irving isn't gone though, because
It's-
Irving is awesome. It's my favorite
It's
character.
interesting. And what interests me is if they're gonna do another season of the show.
Yeah, they're already in production of it.
Okay, all right. So they're
Yeah, they started
continuing the
production. I think
story.
They said the writers' room for it started like last month or something.
there isn't gonna be a conclusion yet. Hopefully, that's.
I
Gonna...
can't imagine it being like a long TV show unless they
Yeah.
keep adding stuff onto it. But I like to think that they're not going to bloat it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll see what the cliffhanger is for this season, and if we have to wait another 3 years for a season again.
It's gonna be Bandersnatch, the last episode. You get to make your own episode at the end.
Next season, all of a sudden, Mark is like way older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it still only takes place like a couple days later. All right, anyway, that's Dead Ensigns. Thank you for listening.
Hopefully you liked us switching from Oscars to Monster Hunter. Two very relevant topics.
Yeah. I mean, the people are dying to hear our thoughts on both, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I like to think that there's some guy out there always at his PC clicking refresh over and over and over, just waiting for the new episode.
I think he knows exactly when they come out because we have a pretty
Every
consistent, somewhat consistent
well, I
schedule.
like to keep him on their toes because every time I schedule it, I do 9 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, and then in terms of the minutes, whenever. Could be whenever.
Whenever, random number.
It could be whenever within the hour. You got no
Keep 'em on
idea.
their toes.
Sometimes the YouTube one is earlier because you can only do that. You can only schedule the YouTube upload in 15-minute increments.
Exclusive.
But for the podcast, I get to just be like, yeah, sure, 18 minutes. Why not? 9:18. Anyway,
YouTube should be paying us for that.
they should. Thanks for listening. I've been Ben. This has been Max. If you would like to interact with us directly, you can do so via email, deadensigns@gmail.com. But if you don't want to send an email, you can leave a simple YouTube comment on the YouTube, because we upload it to YouTube, the Dead Ensigns channel. If you go there, you can also like and subscribe, and you'll get to see the new episodes immediately, sometimes earlier than the uploads on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I always say Apple Music, but it's Apple Podcasts, and I got it right this time. Amazon, and various other podcast apps that we're available on. But if you do use any of those apps, please make sure to save it, give it a like or whatever rating they have on that site, because they're always different. That's how they get you. Sometimes there's stars, sometimes there's like thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, give us a positive one, please. And until next week, I guess next week we'll be talking about Mickey 17, because that's coming out this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see
that's
it.
true.
And we can finally watch Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
The
and
fucking
is that
finale.
finished, right?
Let's
You
go.
are
Yeah, the
saying that's-
finale, the
and
last
it's
5
finale.
episodes. I know something about the last 5 episodes because it came up on my feed that is already very disappointing about it, but we'll get into it next week. when
Yeah,
we've seen it.
will they catch the Cobra guy? Will they? I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
what's so disappointing is that they leave it up in the air.
No, fuck.
It's like a lot. It's like the ending is Johnny Lawrence has him like with a gun in an alley,
Yeah.
gun pointed at the Cobra guy, and then they cut to black.
Yeah,
And it's
all
like,
'cause of you.
really? That's it?
yeah.
I don't know. It's just we'll get into it next week. It's disappointing. All right, bye.
Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.